Women after 40 need to hear this. There are a lot of women who call themselves empaths, and they keep asking the same question. Why do I keep attracting the same type of person? Why do I always end up in one-sided relationships? Why do I feel drained even when I love them? And the answer is not what most people think. It's not bad luck. It's not coincidence. And it's not because you're too nice. It's because of a pattern. A pattern that starts with empathy, but turns into overfunctioning. And that pattern makes you highly compatible with emotionally unbalanced people. And this is the part nobody talks about, and we're going to. I want to ground this first. When I say narcissistic, I'm not talking about diagnosing someone, because that's not what we're doing here. I'm talking about behavioral patterns. Patterns like lack of emotional responsibility. So people that do things and don't take responsibility for their actions, needing constant validation, somebody who wants you to tell them how good they look, how great they are, and avoiding accountability. And this goes back to lack of emotional responsibility, because when you're not accountable for what you do, you just pretend like you didn't do it and just try to bypass the healing that needs to be done when you do something to someone. And the last one is expecting others to regulate them. And this is something that empaths do like a charm. And this exists on a spectrum, right? Like it's not like all the way one way or all the way to the other. So many women are not attracting narcissists. They are attracting dysregulated people who benefit from overfunctioning. All those characteristics I gave you are the characteristics of someone who's going to benefit from your overfunctioning, and they can spot you from a mile away. It's not always narcissism. That's a diagnosis. It's often imbalance. There is an imbalance on your side that attracts the imbalance on someone else's side. So let's talk about you, the empaths. Empaths feel deeply, notice everything, and respond quickly. But when empathy is unregulated, it turns into over-responsibility. You don't just feel someone else's pain. You act on it. You try to fix it. You want to make it better. You adjust what you do, what you say, how you act, even whole environments to make them feel better. You carry the emotional weight in the relationship. And you do this because you don't just understand people, you take responsibility for them. You feel responsible for their well-being. And if they don't feel well, you want to make sure that you do something to make it better. Now, here's the part most people miss though. This is not random. Not at all. It's a match. You ever heard the term, you met your match? Well, when an overfunctioner meets a narcissistic personality, it's a match. You bring emotional labor, regulation, and consistency. What do they bring? They bring emotional need that fits your emotional labor, inconsistency, so you bring the consistency in, and the lack of regulation. You bring that regulation, and together it creates a loop, because the narcissistic personality is not trying to move to your spectrum. They want you to do all the work, but it creates a loop because you think that when you are doing all the things that you're doing, that they will eventually meet you on the other side. And they never do, even when they say they will. Overfunctioning and underfunctioning fit together perfectly. It makes for a messy relationship. It makes for heartbreak, but it fits if you don't understand what is happening. They are overwhelmed, you step in and you regulate. You make it all better. You fix it, you regulate, and over time, guess what happens? They rely on you, you carry more, and they do less. So in your mind, you think that eventually they're going to meet you on the other side. And you call it love. And here's an example you might face with an adult child. They struggle, you jump in, you solve, you fix it, you support, you absorb everything. You don't want to see them suffer. And over time, they depend on you, they resist responsibility, and they expect you to intervene. So you're not doing it anymore because you want to. They expect you to do it. And you call it, at that point, you call it support. And the thing is that you thought you were helping, but you were creating dependence. And that's not your fault. This is all part of a cycle that started when you were much younger. And this is the hardest part, right? Because you don't see it. You see it as love and support because it feels familiar. Because this is how you learn to love. You learn that you need to show up, give more, and adjust, and hold everything together. And so you do. But on the other side, they just learn to let you do. And what feels like love may actually not be love. It's conditioning. You've been conditioned. So we need to stop looking at overfunctioning behavior like it's love. Now I want to bring this home because when children grow up watching this dynamic, they learn love equals overgiving. Relationships equal imbalance. Someone else will regulate me. And then they repeat the cycle. One way or the other, they repeat the cycle. They either overfunction or they underfunction. You don't just live your patterns, you model them. And when you're modeling these patterns, your kids are watching. So what do you need to do to change? Well, you don't become cold. You don't cut everyone off. You need regulation. You start feeling. It's okay to feel for someone without fixing their problem. You can support without carrying it. And you can step back without guilt. You don't have to fix or carry everything for everyone. Empathy without boundaries is self-abandonment. Point blank. Because in order to not have a boundary means that you have to not know where you end and where they start. And let me ask you something. Have you noticed this pattern in your relationships? Do you tend to take on more than your share? And do the people in your life allow you to take on more than your share? And don't think twice about it. And do you even remember where you first learned that? Think back to childhood and drop it in the comments. Because this is where everything starts to shift. Knowledge is power, they say, and it's so true. You're not attracting the wrong people. You're repeating a familiar dynamic, and once you see it, you can change it. That's the beauty. It's when you don't see it, you keep repeating the loop and wondering why things are going the way they're going. But once you see it, you can change it. And so when you make a decision, not just a decision, when you start to see this and you decide to change it, things start looking different.